Hello and welcome to another day of StarLadder Star Series. It's coming to an end though. This day, that is, it is the last game of the day for StarLadder Season 6. It is day number 21. Virtus.pro for the second time today up against RoX.KIS. Virtus.pro has already secured themselves a spot to go to Kiev. RoX.KIS though, they still have a chance to go there as well. They've been doing pretty decently in StarLadder so far. Have created some nice upsets. For example, they've won against Mousesports. Let's see if they can create another upset here, as Virtus.pro is the favorite for this matchup. Of course, I will not be by myself. I am assisted by Statsman K-poptosis, who you won't hear, but you'll see the stats that he puts out in the game. And the one that you will hear, it is my co-caster. It is Kanaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So, Virtus.pro vs RoX.KIS. RoX has had some up and down results, let's put it that way. What do you expect for this match?
Well, Virtus.pro, they've been looking really strong at StarLadder. They're the top seed right now, I'm pretty sure. I think we determined that earlier today. Yeah. So Virtus.pro, pretty much awesome. RoX have been a little sloppy in the last couple of weeks ever since the qualifications, but they've been pulling it back, playing a little bit better this week than they were last week. And they also get, and Wisp is always a pretty good thing to have, but we did see VP beat Wisp, so hard to say whether or not RoX are going to be able to pull it off a little bit better than Alliance.
Yeah, we have got the Keeper of the Light and Nature's Prophet getting banned out, with the Nyx Assassin as well as a Darkseer getting banned out for RoX, and they pick up the IO first, which is interesting because normally, or at least since Wednesday, RoX has been picking up the Gyrocopter as often as they can, but now getting it denied, meaning that they are picking up the Chaos Knight after that one. So we'll see IO Chaos Knight going there, and might be having a bit more luck than of course the previous IO game that we saw. But the Bat Rider already there for Virtus.pro. It is a very tough already two cores to go up against, with the Gyro, also a possible aggressive tri lane. It is interesting to see how RoX is gonna play this out. Magnus still gets banned out there, so
10 seconds
just looking to ban out some mids. Of course, different roles available for these people. We've seen Chaos Knight IO mid, we've seen Bat Rider mid, we've seen them jungle, we've seen the IO Chaos Knight aggressive tri lane or safe tri lane, with now no D ban coming out from RoX.
Yeah, not picking Gyro first, I think, was simply because IO and Bat Rider were in the pool. If RoX pick one of Gyro, VP gets both Bat Rider and IO, and that leads to a very, very powerful ganking lineup that can have 3 heroes on top of you basically immediately. And we actually still have Stealer in the pool as well, which is somewhat unusual. Maybe teams starting to think they don't have so much after playing with this most recent patch a little bit. The day after, we still saw him getting picked up, basically first pick or first ban every game. But they did nerf open wounds. It makes him a lot in lane because you have to be basically on top of them to open wound someone at early levels. As he gains up in levels, he mostly plays about the same, however. So could still see him picked up here by either team. Could run Lifestealer very effectively. RoX can use him to infest and get an additional hero there with the ganks from the Wisp. Or VP certainly could infest the Bat Rider, and the Bat Rider gank becomes that much stronger with the lasso and the infest.
Yeah, could you reconnect to the Skype call again? I'm getting some dropouts. You're still understandable though, so don't worry about that. It's just to make sure that everybody hears you properly. We do have the Bounty Hunter indeed and the Rubik getting banned out as these last two. Virtus.pro, they are the ones to pick up next, and they go for that strong support that we've seen in the previous game as well. They go for the Vengeful Spirit, something that, well, I think we're gonna have to get used to, because with that buff, she is just a very survivable support, and of course also one that can make a big difference late game. If this goes late game, Vengeful Spirit is arguably one of the better supports to have, next to, for example, Keeper of the Light. Welcome back.
Good to be back. Alright.
10 seconds
sorry, Vengeful
remaining.
Spirit is that pick, and I'm assuming you were talking about that when I reconnected to the call.
5
Yeah,
seconds
yeah.
remaining.
Vengeful Spirit. Indeed.
Yeah, so we've seen Venge a lot lately, and that strength buff is pretty big. It makes her survivable, and obviously as a support, being survivable is one of the biggest things for you. You want to just be alive in fights for as long as possible to be able to do as much as possible. So getting the strength buff and then the strength gain buff, both very big deals. For Vengeful Spirit just staying alive in a fight. As a result, seeing her a lot, the minus armor that she can bring is very powerful. The aura, the Vengeance aura that gives the damage is also very good with Gyro helicopter, as well as some other heroes. I'm gonna pick up some other heroes that right-click well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call you back because the Skype call apparently doesn't really like to fix things, and this time it's not my internet, so just gonna call the group back real quick. There we go, and yeah, I mean that is exactly right. There's a lot of right-click damage on the side of Virtus.pro. Queen of Pain picks up by RoX, so that will be some mid-game presence by RoX, not just by the Queen of Pain, but also of course because of IO and the Chaos Knight there.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, yeah. You're there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, look, that sounds better.
Okay, good. No problems.
No
Perfect.
problems.
And they're gonna go with Disruptor again for VP, which I think is exactly what they want to be doing. I'm not the hugest proponent of Disruptor. I think you have to play very well for him to do anything, and I don't like setting up teams that way. But VP, they're confident with their play. It worked out for them last game. And we'll see if they can make magic happen again this game. And of course, very powerful against Wisp. If you teleport someone in with Wisp and there's not enough backup around, and Disruptor just sends the IO away, and suddenly you're a Chaos Knight against a couple heroes alone, and the Chaos Knight just dies, it's like you teleported gold to the enemy team. And that's not what you want to be doing. So Disruptor, a very powerful pick, and VP going to go with it again.
Yeah, ultimate counter to the Wisp. We see also RoX taking a lot of time to think about this next pickup, taking into their bonus time for that one. They still miss the secondary support if they want to do that, and of course they have got that well, that off lane still open. There we go.
They could also be running off lane Queen of Pain with a dual mid Chaos Knight IO very easily. I'm not really expecting that out of RoX right now, but it's certainly something they could consider with the heroes they already picked up.
Dire team back.
Yeah, it's a clockwork. That's their offlane for RoX.KIS. In the meantime, I'm still trying to see if we can make the Skype call. It's starting to be awkward again. It's just, I don't know. It's not the internet. It is just Skype being Skype, I think. So nothing that we can do about that at the moment, I think.
Remaining.
Waiting for the last ban coming up from Virtus.pro, banning up against one either support or jungle hero, so they just have to decide which one they don't want to see together with the IO, be that a Leshrac or a Lina, for example, to help out on a tri-lane, or an Enchantress or a Chen if you don't want to deal with that jungle potential, or Enigma even, as we saw in the previous game. And the ban out for RoX will probably be going towards either a mid or an offlane as well, I mean, depending on what they're expecting the Batrider to do. Virtus.pro very nice in keeping that open until the very last moment.
Yeah, Batrider we almost don't see offlaning nowadays, but it's still very powerful in the mid lane, and Queen of Pain is kind of one of the matchups that's okay for against Batrider, since Batrider is kind of terrible to deal with in the mid lane, similar to the way he is, but not quite as dominating. And yeah, probably looking to see a mid hero here, and the ban out Visage against RoX, so just another powerful support.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
Visage. Well, we could of course still have that Clockwork as support, as we know that Yul plays it very strongly, so we could still have an offlaner picked up by RoX as their last pickup. We still have in the pool some offlaners, even though not that many, to be fair, not that many that are regularly picked up, that is. As we're waiting for the last ban for RoX. Let's see what they want to do. It is the puck in the end, as someone in chat already 2 minutes before us said, which is interesting that he knew that.
Oh, I mean, puck is a kind of obvious sort of ban here. Usually, puck and Queen of Pain are kind of the two most popular, I think, mids that fill that same that probably VP were looking for. But they're going to go with the Templar Assassin, so it gives them more physical damage. It works well with the Vengeance Orb, Vengeful Spirit, and just gives them another hero that can sort of scale into the later game if the game needs to go that way.
Yep, I like the Templar Assassin pickup as well, so we're gonna see if
10
RoX,
seconds remaining.
the Queen of Pain, can live up to the Templar Assassin. In theory, it should be fairly
5
even. Nobody
seconds
should really die
remaining.
until level 6. The harassment of Queen of Pain will be a bit more than the harassment of Templar Assassin normally,
10 seconds
but we'll see what it ends up to be as RoX pick up the Ancient Apparition. We've seen that, I believe, yesterday as well in one of the games. We had that Ancient Apparition Chaos Knight combination that you of course can get with the Reality Rift and the Chaos Bolt, making sure that you cannot escape the cold feet coming off from the Ancient Apparition. But mid-game, is everything that RoX is shouting right now. And if virtus.pro can create an advantage on the lanes and can actually build out from there, RoX won't stand a chance.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what we would expect, I think, from these two teams. They're both kind of betting a lot on playing the other in the early game, and then trying to transition that into a solid lead and taking by force of map control in that mid game phase. Neither of these teams, I feel like, really want to go late game that often. We've seen VP do it from time to time. We've seen RoX do it from time to time, but I think both really enjoy solid lanes, aggressive tri-lanes from time pretty often, and just trying to force the opponent out of the game as quickly as possible, as opposed to some team like KP where they almost always seem to want to get as late as possible.
Yeah. We do have them also trying something already. They've smoked up going into the dire jungle, but we can see the minimap. We know that virtus.pro is all on the bottom lane. They're actually trying to do maybe exactly the same. They got scouted out though. The tower actually gave them some vision of where they were, and instantly we see RoX. They turn around. They have to be careful not to give themselves away to the tower here, but they don't. They will be able to just walk in and surprise VP. And they know what they're heading themselves into. They're getting ready for it. They have got the reality rift as the first one, so the tether stun will go through regardless. But look at virtus.pro. They take a different route around. Maybe they can catch someone on the back end of things, but no. Oh, maybe. Here they come. The ward is there for the dire side. Rocket Barrage is there as well. Here comes the Queen of Pain. They catch out the gyro completely. Team. Wow. They just let him hanging there. Maybe some miscommunication? It felt like that because the Rocket Barrage was already on. It looked like virtus.pro wanted to go aggressive there. But in the end, BZZ on his Chaos Knight gets the kill on the first blood. And not just a kill. It's also, of course, on the gyrocopter, even though you don't really lose that much gold, to be fair. You just give a lot away.
Yeah, you lose next to nothing. And Venge taking a lot of damage, but as a haste run couldn't be able to get out. So not really... Oh, stats about Chaos Knight with 62% win rate. It's not actually as high as I might have guessed for this combo. It's very powerful, and it feels like teams typically win with it, but maybe it's been starting to drop off in success lately as teams have kind of gotten used to playing against it. But that's a good gank coming up from RoX. VP just, I guess, thought they were completely safe at that point. We're hanging out there. The two solo laners had already abandoned that Radiant jungle. And once Gyro's caught out, the supports did the right thing and just booked it out of there.
Oh, Reality Rift goes in, but the Rocket Barrage is still doing a lot of damage to BCC, and they both go down. With Vanscore picking up the kill on one side, and then the other side, the Disruptor picking it up. And that is going to be the Wisp still going down. And that is 2 kills going away for virtus.pro. One important thing to note is that actually the Chaos Knight died before the Disruptor did. So BCC does not get the experience or gold from that kill. As in the meantime, Queen of Pain is very low on the top lane as well. Batrider, or sorry, TA also very low. Able to well, it was basically a man fight probably. With the Queen of Pain blinking yourself out. Okay, have to be careful for that. RoX and virtus.pro, you can vote who you think will win. Exclamation mark vote, and then either RoX with the capital letter R or virtus.pro with 2 capital letters VP. So exclamation mark vote in the chat, in Twitch chat. Unfortunately, Dota TV chat does not work for that. But you can vote. And then we'll see the results of who are the fan favorites for this matchup, or at least the Twitch viewers' favorites, let's put it that way. Meantime, we do have Solo playing the Queen of Pain in the mid lane. We didn't really introduce them yet. I will go over RoX real fast. Solo will be on the Queen of Pain. Bottom lane BZZ on his Chaos Knight, Yol on the support Wisp, Vanscore on the Ancient Separation, and of course off lane Dread playing the Clockwork there. So that's everybody on the Radiant side for RoX. I will leave virtus.pro to you.
For virtus.pro, in their aggressive tri-lane, we're going to have Arsart playing the Vengeful Spirit, who's been going under Banan Dejan for like a week now, and no one said anything to him, so I don't know if he's going to stick with this. And that's going to be playing Disruptor, Illidan, Airman, going to be on the Gyrocopter. Mid lane, that's going to be Taimawa playing the Templar Assassin. On the top lane is KSI on the Batrider.
Yeah, and both the mid lane and the bottom lane having a lot of aggression potential, that is, because they are now calm, but the potential is definitely there on both sides.
Yeah, definitely, and Radiant put up the Sentry Ward in the mid lane in the river, which is very important for this matchup against Templar Assassin with the Queen of Pain. Otherwise, Meld dodges the Shadow Strike from Queen of Pain, and you can't really harass down the TA at all. So you have to have this sentry there, just to make sure she can't evade that.
Solo has to be careful though, he's very low and he doesn't have his bottle yet, so Tama Wild getting a bit of freedom here. Well, maybe trying to get some side blades going through, but doesn't get a kill so far. And the bottle is already coming in. Ooh, that's a side blade. That's a good blink just in case. Oh, you have to be so careful there with those side blades. But we do see the aggressive trailing for virtus.pro. I mean, they did get 2 kills just now, which is great. But they only have 15 last hits up on the gyro. BCZ sitting on just 5 though, but they're not getting actually as much out of it as I think they need. But well, they're shutting the levels down. That's probably the best, the biggest thing. Of course, one thing that you need if you're going for that Wisp Chaos Knight combination, you need the levels. You need it level 6.
They need to be very concerned about getting too many levels up on both Ancient Apparition and Chaos Knight though. Their tri-lane becomes a lot more vulnerable to the supports just dying as these levels get up on those 2 heroes. Chaos Knight, of course, with the stun. Oh, and actually top lane.
Oh, that was the Clockwork going down. Clockwork getting a kill, rather. Didn't even use his hookshot for that, just a battery assault and the flare getting the Bat Rider out of position. Flag cannon here doing some harassment, forcing everybody back here. Other than, I mean, I'm still sitting most of my time here on this bottom lane because that is the lane where we are expecting most aggression to go off. In theory, top lane and mid lane should be fairly even.
You are simply
mid lane have some more kill potential though. Oh, see, they go in, and I was just mid lane for a second there. BCZ in a lot of trouble. Will get glimpsed back. Well, his disruptor, the disruptor still going down as well. Vanscore running himself away together with Yule. There goes the magic missile. Thether might be helping out a little bit, but not enough. The flat cannon actually doing the work to still kill off the Ancient Apparition, and Yule the last one alive. It is a 2-for-1 trade. Gyro as well as Venge very low on HP in the end of that, but not going down, or maybe still, because here comes the Chaos Knight again. He is very fast. Reality Drift hits you. Stuck around for too long. Rocket Barrage won't save you now. Vengeful Spirit eases himself away through the trees, and they will be able to, well, they won't be able to catch up with that one. But still getting the gyro is pretty important.
Yeah, and so Disruptor's win rate is actually 23% all time against IO. It could be good, but it turns out most of the time it doesn't work out, and it's potentially because Disruptor is a very difficult to play hero, like I was mentioning in the draft. But VP have been showing that they're very confident with their play in the hero, so if they can keep making it work, it's good on them.
Yeah, we see NS going for a bit of a different build this time, though.
Yeah, he's actually maxing Glimpse right away. Instead of grabbing the 2 points in Thunderstrike.
Yeah, it's the normal build that we normally see, but of course last game that we saw him playing the Disruptor, the Thunderstrike was his higher valued skill to pick up. But yeah, this is more standard. So good to see that he changed that around again. It's situational. In the meantime, someone's getting dived here. It is Solo that's taking a lot of damage. Melt damage going through, and that will be a Queen of Pain on her knees and then brought down to justice. It is Tama Wild that has that haste rune that made it possible for him to do just that.
Yeah, so definitely a very good kill for him to be getting there. Any solo kill you can get mid versus mid is always a good thing. Gives you a bunch of experience, slows down their mid's impact in the game as well. And we'll see bottom lane continuing. Disruptor's had a lot of trouble, obviously he's struggling, but he's had some good plays as well. He survives a long time in these fights after it feels like he should be dead. And the initiation in the bottom lane.
They go in, they catch out Illidan, Cold Feet there as well as a 4-second stun, but BCZ taking a lot of damage. Might be a bit too much. He's trying to go back, but Vanscore was blocking the way, and he has that Thunderstrike up in him. Luckily for him, it's only level 1. It is NS that still ends up going down to the Queen of Pain that came in, and we're looking at Joel putting out his spirits, his balls. Will they hit our side? A couple hits needed? No, he decides not to chase that. He won't be able to get that kill, and that is 2 kills going the way of virtus.pro this time, with no enemies or no heroes dropped on the side of RoX themselves, even though BCZ was very low.
Yeah, they just couldn't quite finish BCZ off, and as a result he just survives on this Chaos Knight and gets to sit in the bottom lane farm, because everyone from VP had to either died or had to back off. So this buys him a little bit of time. Gyrocopter the only one here at the moment. He can't feel safe against that lane by himself. We've already seen him die a couple times, and the aggressive tri-lane just not working out as well for VP this game as it did in the previous one.
Well, and important to note is that BCZ is actually level 6 right now, which is a higher level than the Gyrocopters. Gyro is level 5 and BZ level 6. Of course, also important to know is level 3 up on the nest, but level 5 up on the venge. And when that swap is up, that's going to be a big difference. Even though it's only level 1, it does help you put that airman, for example, out of trouble. If he gets a reality rift up on top of him, Arsart will be able to save his life. On the other side, we've got Vanscore sitting at level 4, and IO at level 4 as well. So it's a bit more even then, even though you might be wanting to see that IO a bit higher as well. But I think that by the time that VZZ is actually level 8, and then there will be a Wisp level 6, and that will be the time when they can force virtus.pro to stick together and fight together, because otherwise they'll get ganked off. Oh, look at that! I think Dread is hitting a hook on the top lane.
Oh yeah, it looks like he is about to throw it. Or is that an auto attack? It's hard to tell. His auto attack animation is just hitting him with the hook too.
Yeah.
That's like a long melee attack range, but sometimes it happens. He has a barrier assault line, he's probably going for a hook.
I think
and
so.
actually, BZZ walked almost all the way back to the base in the bottom lane. I wonder if he was disconnected for a while and his team just didn't notice.
No, I think
My Dota just crashed.
Okay, well that's okay.
That's weird.
At least yours does it when we're already paused. But no, I think that he was already going back home. He was just very low. He didn't have any regen. The Wisp was of course the one that could potentially heal him, but also Yol didn't have any regen left, so I think he wanted to go home regardless. I hope so anyway, otherwise that would indeed be a big loss. Am I still zoomed in here? No. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, KSI, he is 41 to 14, so doing fairly well in the last hits. Actually a lot better than the Clockwork, who's 31 to 6. But of course Clockwork already got a kill upon KSI, and it looks to be he might be doing that again. There is a Firefly up on the Bat Rider though, so he will be able to fly himself away. But the Battery Assault can just be just enough to get the kill. And yeah, if the hookshot goes off as well, I mean that's a bit of extra damage going through, and a stun as well for KSI. Not quite sure if Dread can actually get the kill, but he will at least be able to force KSI out of the lane, because he doesn't have any regen up on him apart from the tango that is ticking on him right now. But other than that, if he just takes a lot of damage, he will be forced back, especially because of those flares that Dread just keeps pumping out there. He can't survive through them. And of course you can also vote, ! Vote what your new Aghanims upgrade is. Who's your favorite new Aghanims upgrade? Is it Agent Operation, Omni, Doom, and I couldn't read the rest, but that's because it just disappears too fast. But you can vote who your favorite is. Personally, I like Agent Operation a lot. Doom was in there as well, but yeah. He's also nice, but oh well. Agent Operation, Omni, Doom, Silencer, and Necro. Remind you, it is case sensitive. So first letter, capital letter, apart from AA, that's both two capital letters. Both letters capitals.
Alright, I'm back.
Good.
I didn't miss anything. All of the trees are despawned on my map.
Awesome.
It's very strange looking.
Yeah, we do have Russian talk going through, which a lot of smileys is rewarded with. Is rewarded with a lot of smileys. 3, 2, 1. There are pretty strict rules in terms of pauses for StarLadder, by the way, for people watching. If you are pausing for more than 10 minutes, you can only have 3 pauses per game, and then pauses longer than 10 minutes aren't allowed, I believe. Something like that, or maybe even 15, but they are very strict on it. So you're gonna get forced to play with 4 if that pause indeed lasts too long, regardless of what reason. As we saw that last Thursday when we had a game where Empire was up against Quantic, and we actually had fucking Matt there disconnecting, and he didn't reconnect in at the end. I mean, he came back a couple of times, but in the end, yeah, they had to play on with 4. And then you have to hope that it's a hero that can actually do fairly well when you're AFK. Like a Nature's Prophet, right-click Nature's Prophet. Will be a hero that does that.
Yeah,
but Chaos Knight is not one of those.
No.
You need to be having someone on there.
Someone needs to be using his abilities, and that's
yeah, and on top of that, someone needs to be able to use his gold.
Also true. Oh, he's back! Yay!
Ooh, yay!
Hopefully it actually works and he's not still having trouble.
Well, we're gonna go chop because I think that we're gonna see something happening here. Duh. Sorry. Ready. Cool. Let's see that hookshot hitting Dread. Or if KSI can dodge it, I mean, technical pause and all that. He actually
just
doesn't.
An auto attack.
Just an auto attack. Okay, well, awesome. I'm still, yeah, awesome. Well, okay, yeah. I was expecting action there. I was all prepared. the meantime, Tama Wild, 48 to 24. 24 denies for Tama Wild. While Solo is sitting on 25 to 3. So Solo is getting destroyed mid. And then we already saw him getting killed off, of course. He has been in kills though. He's been in 3 out of the 7 kills, so not that bad. He of course came bottom. But mid lane, he doesn't really get that much from it, so he has to rotate to try and get something going there. There's a hook shot, that hits, and Galim's back actually for the clockwork, but he does leave those two sitting there, and actually the reality ref pulls Airman rather, out of the cogs, and that is a kill going away of BZZ. And Armstart living,
stats
obviously.
on Airman are going to start piling up. He's really not getting farm anymore. He's still a little bit ahead of Chaos Knight just because it's not very difficult for him to outfarm a Chaos Knight in lane. But as he dies more and more, he's not really accumulating gold. And BZZ is getting experience, which is also very important for him.
Yeah, he's already level 6, almost level 7. Still have a level 4 up on the Wisp though. Kind of waiting for him to get level 6, of course, and then he might be able to start relocating, and then we will see virtus.pro a bit in more trouble, as we have got Solo TPing into middle, goes for Tamar Wild, looking for some action, can't find it though, it just forces him out. But also make sure that his tower is a bit safer. That was the first rotation that we actually have from Dread to leave the top lane. He now has 2 kills to his name, or at least 1 assist, 1 actual kill. That hookshot was pretty good. Of course the glimpse can also counter that hookshot pretty damn nice, because you can just glimpse the clockwork back, but you'll still have your teammates stuck inside those cogs, and we already saw that that also was a problem to be dealing with. And reality rift can get you right out of there. You have to be careful though, with reality rifting someone in the cogs, there is a chance that as a Chaos Knight you actually get to be the one inside the cogs and your enemy will be the ones outside the cogs, and that's at random. Oh
yeah. The reality rift got like super lucky there. It pulled Airman.
Tama Wild really wants Solo. Gets him as well. Double damage rune. 2 traps for that. No hope for Solo. He used a level 1 blink. That's just not enough at this stage for Tama Wild. Tama Wild's almost got her own blink actually. His own blink rather.
Yeah, definitely. Templar's starting to get a pretty big advantage in this mid lane. Just does way more damage than a Queen of Pain really can. Queen of Pain relies on burst, and Templar is naturally resilient against burst damage just because instances of damage are weak to refraction.
Yep. And there was the votes. Asian Operation, yay! My vote wins. I don't know. Swap in. Oh, crowd trouble. BZZ gets a cold on as well. Yol trying to save his life and can't do it, or can he? No, he can't. 4 seconds on Steel, hits up on the bench. Nice Sonic Wave, chops on 2, Scream and hits, and double kill for Solo. He's looking for a nest. Has got some mana left. Asian Operation ulti will fly in, will miss as well. Hey, there's still slow though, and Dread coming in as well. Glimpse will only help a little bit, and Nest will end up dying. Triple kill for Solo. He gets last suit for his troubles though, and gets it next to Tamar Wild. That's the one that he doesn't want to be next to. Ooh, he's gonna be able to link himself out. Gets a bottle, will still end up going down. Nice effort, and with that actually blink, he saves Dread's life, because otherwise they could have gone on him. And Dread ends up living as well as Yol. No, I mean Vanskor lives very low, but 21 HP is not to be messed with. Vanskor survives. virtus.pro, I mean, they've got some nice comeback kills, but again, Airman dies before the kills happen, so he doesn't get experience, he doesn't get gold.
No, he died after the kills.
He only died after the kill of BZZ, not after the other 2.
Gyrocopter?
Yeah. Oh, wait a second, Gyrocopter is gonna be aggressed upon. Mage Separation will be helping out. Rocket Barrage doesn't do enough anymore. The slow is still there though. Thunderstrike as well, but what can a Disruptor do by himself? Yeah, didn't Airman die from the Queen of Pain jumping in?
Yeah, but he had already gotten the double kill before that.
Oh, my bad then.
Because he actually got the 2 kills, but they're gonna kill Venge in the bottom lane.
Oh, Yol, he is level 6. He has to be careful though. He's gonna try to tether to a creep. Won't be able to tether to someone else. We'll leave the rest at home. But in the meantime, Chaos Knight was able to take down the Vengeful Spirit. That was the blood puddle where he was. Kind of split up fight, but kind of worth it as well. He leaves the Chaos Knight bottom rather. But that's of course good. Can of course farm. At least you would think that he would farm. But he's actually roaming mid. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane, by the way, got killed off already. So that is a tower advantage going the way of virtus.pro.
Yeah, Templar was able to take that down after getting the kill on Queen of Pain earlier, and they're smoked up in the bottom lane.
Well, they won't be able to find BZZ though, and I think that's who they want. Vanskor? I mean, okay, you can kill him off with the smoke, but that's not really worth your smoke. And they do have that blinking lasso. They also have Tamar Wild with the blink, so a lot of mobility. Oh, they're gonna run right into Dread. Hello! Where's the cogs? Re-entry first. They get the stun off 2 seconds. Tamar Wild is gonna be locked in position and taken down while the Bed Rider blinks himself out instead of in, thinking, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm home. I'm back. I'm down. I'm off. Not down, obviously. He's living. Ooh, it might not be the end though. The tether is on. The chase is on as well. They're looking for that reality rift. Perhaps they can still find someone. Airman. No, not just barely. The vision doesn't enough. That HF ratio will still hit up on the bench, but they can't go in on it right now. We also have the Bed Rider hanging around. Must be careful not to get blinked in and drawn back into a cooldown or anything like that. We do have still 3 heroes here for RoX on the bottom lane. BCZ now though. He almost got his drums. He has got actually enough money to get his drums. He's doing really nice right now.
Yeah, but he's still actually slightly behind Illidan.
Yeah.
They're like going even. So things not actually looking that bad for virtus.pro, even though they're behind by 5 kills. They're ahead on a tower, and they're not doing too poorly in terms of farming.
No, the main difference still says the RoX.KIS lineup is just overall, just by pure hero, stronger in the mid game. So if they can keep pressure on and can keep getting pickoffs and keep getting ahead in kills, even though virtus.pro is still farming as well, they will in the end be able to, if they do it fast enough, obviously, be able to push down some extra towers and getting something out of the kills that they get. But it will be tough right now because virtus.pro, they're actually on their aggressive path. The TPs comes in. Cooldown comes in as well. Reality Rift already up on Airman. We have got KSI coming in. Lasso up on BCZ as well as a stun, and he ends up going down. It is a swap up on Yol. He drops. 4 were there for virtus.pro. Never mind, 5 were there. And the 2 of RoX go down. The rest of RoX decided to flee. Separation still sending his ulti, but couldn't get anything else done. And of course, Dread decided not to hook in, and also Solo was just farming top, couldn't get anything done. That will be a tier 1 tower going down. Wow, okay, thank you, Tamar Wild. Vanscore was on full HP when he left the bottom lane, and Tamar Wild will just make sure that he's on 0 HP when he reaches the fountain.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, beautiful play from VP right there. Illidan starts running, realizes he's not getting away, and immediately throws the gyro ult and pops Rocket Barrage. He gets pulled in with the Reality Rift, does a ton of damage to BZZ, and it just comes down to the fact that you can't actually run away from this.
The relocate went in, they go on the disruptor, they get him as well. Tamar Wild now to be able to kill off Dread though, the dust gets popped as well. He at least wants to do that before he dies. As KSI can't get close right now. Oh my god, he's gonna get taken off. No! He goes down. Tamar Wild still with the kill. Splash damage all the way. Wisp goes home by herself. Chaos Knight in the meantime had a run himself away from there. Might still be trying to go for something though, but he gets blocked by the neutrals. That's gonna be unfortunate. Can't get anything done anymore. That's gonna be him just farming.
Yeah, those neutrals being a nuisance.
Yep.
They had that big stack on that camp. It lost Tamar Wild to get away, but it's unclear whether or not they would have actually been able to get the kill. They have dust on HF version. I guess that might have been able to set it up. But things looking okay for VP. That fight in the bottom lane was just so big for them.
Yeah.
They're only down by 2 kills now instead of the 5 before.
The gold grab is not that different though, like overall it is, I mean of course it's in favor of virtus.pro, but considering there's 2 towers down on the side of RoX, which is overall also 3k gold. Actually there's 1 tower now down also on the side of virtus.pro, so that makes it only just 1.5k gold. Oh, Kalim's back, welcome back to the party, Queen of Pain. Swap in for the stun, and that's gonna be a kill going away of Arsart on his Vengeful Spirit. Very nicely done. With a glimpse to get him back, the swap to get the stun in from our teammate swap that is. And the kill going the way indeed of the support, so double support effort. Ooh, Lincoln, Ben score, so troubled, no. And Dread being very ballsy, sticking around there. Yeah.
Everything about that gank in the top lane was beautifully executed. If anything, they had done anything differently, Queen of Pain just blinks away and gets out. But they managed to chain everything basically perfectly, even with the swap coming out from Arsart just to get in range for the magic missile. And then the wave did lower her armor just slightly enough that his last auto attack would kill her.
Yep.
It's really just stylish, I guess, play coming out from virtus.pro.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, they're looking very efficient right now. And that's exactly what you want to be doing. When your 2 supports can get a kill on their solo mid, that's pretty big. It gives them a ton of experience because, of course, solo mid going to be out-leveling the supports pretty heavily. And also gives them some gold that they otherwise probably wouldn't be getting.
Yeah, we have got a level 9 Vengeful Spirit here already, and of course at level 11 is going to make a big difference in terms of swap range. We have got the Disruptor sitting at level 8. In the meantime, the supports of RoX are level 8 as well on the side of IO, with Age Separation also level 8, so there's only a 1 level difference between the 4 of them. But virtus.pro slightly ahead in that regard, and they TP in mid because they want to defend their tower. Here they come. Tame well taking a lot of damage here. Doesn't have a refraction, doesn't have mana for a refraction, and those spirits will indeed pick her off. In the meantime, the last two hold BZZ in place to get killed off. Dread and Yul trying to run already, as we see, yeah, they're gonna go down. Still the stun coming up. No, he doesn't have mana. He just uses stick charges. No mana, because he gets pulled away. Dread ends up surviving, and S dies on the back end. Queen of Pain getting that credit, ends up getting a double kill with also killing off airmen that just run towards him, and there goes the tether. They're trying to chase down this Vengeful. Here comes a Flame Break trying to help out. Won't be able to help out though. Blink forwards, and that should be a kill again, and that's a triple kill for Solo. Very nicely done. Makes up for the fact that he just died in that top lane.
I just noticed that Solo is actually Sola right now.
Because of the sun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The sun.
Sola.
It's definitely better that now that they're able to get those kills. They take a kill advantage back. They were only up by, I think, 1 kill at the beginning of that fight. Now they're up by 4.
Yeah.
So definitely a good fight for RoX.KIS. They're able to get back in it after they were sort of slipping behind a little bit. It's going to pull it close to even, but BZZ is still kind of struggling. And that's the thing that's going to be kind of important as the game goes on. Chaos Knight's a very powerful hero, but so is Gyrocopter, and I think most people are going to favor Gyrocopter in the late game.
Agreed. But yeah, the one thing also that we have to just not forget, I mean, they took a fight, and it was a pretty big one as well, but they don't take a tower in return, and that's what it all started with. They started to push down on the tier 1. End up fighting virtus.pro. They win that fight, but they back off. Don't get anything in terms of map control. And map control, such a big deal in this game. Not just because of farm, which is always a big deal, obviously, but a Wisp Chaos Knight, you need to have that map control. You need to know where you're going to be TPing in. You need to know where you can't be TPing into. And right now, this combination, the whole Wisp Chaos Knight combination, is not really doing that much. I mean, we've seen 2 ganks coming off that were actually doing something, while not all have been successful. You can only use it right now as just a farming tool, just to make sure that you can be in fights on time. But in terms of ganks, it's not really going to be helping out. And the smoke up actually on virtus.pro, they are with 5 though. I mean, that's very tough to gank up as well. I mean, that's the one thing that you can do against that combo. Just go 5-man Dota and win the game that way. They are going to be trying to find RoX there. BZZ and Yul, they run over some wards so they know where they are. But the trap goes on too slow. That was the wrong trap, I guess. But they were still too fast. They're still looking for them though. Still gonna try to blink in, probably. Here they come. Bed Rider as well. Looking for the blink in, looking for the last 2. BCZ gonna be the target. Here goes Yul already. Tries to TP home. Might be able to do it. Yes, they do it! They do it! BZZ will be safe. Yul will, of course, still come back to die. Or maybe they want to fight. Maybe they want to fight. Here comes RoX. They TP themselves to tier 1. Wisp will be back here in just a second. We'll take the Chaos Knight with him as well. And here they come. Asian Separation will be flying in as well, but they TP into the Static Storm from the Disruptor, and Yul already ends up going down. Maybe our side will still shatter, but this is RoX coming in to a slaughterhouse. It is BZZ that will drop as well, and Asian Separation, the last one alive, but not for long. That is a team wipe on the side of RoX. And I mean, they fully were aware of what they were jumping themselves into. Maybe they were thinking that and not everybody was there.
I don't think they could be possibly thinking that they were not all of the heroes there. Not with the way virtus.pro have been playing this game. They almost get kills on several of them. The Ancient Apparition ult does a lot of work, but everyone just barely hanging out. We see Arsart has like 100 HP.
He almost shattered.
Yeah, almost shattered. He just didn't though, and he was able to throw out abilities from the side of the fight as a result. They just couldn't close it out anyway. The A ult flying towards the top lane, or it's actually a rocket flare. They both look the same on the map. But no one, they just couldn't quite close it out, and as a result, they give a huge team fight to VP. Like there have been some team fights going back and forth, and VP or RoX have won some big ones, but they've never taken a 5-0 fight with a tower on the back of it. So VP secure a huge advantage there, and now RoX are going to have to be scrambling to try and make something happen. And they do have good heroes for that. They have Chaos Knight Wisp. It's great ganking combo. You can try and make something happen like that. But right now, it's not looking good, especially if they try and force another fight and they slip up again.
Yeah, and with that extra tier 1 tower down, that was the last tier 1 on the side of RoX.KIS. I mean, the map control that we talked about is just on the side of virtus.pro. There's one ward up for RoX, just newly placed. But still, oh Dread, he's actually looking for a hook perhaps. If he can find something, he can find a way in. He doesn't, so.
Oh, and something I forgot to mention, Illidan finished his BKB right before the fight, top lane, and it just got delivered to him.
Oh.
So they might not have known he had the BKB. And the BKB made him just stand in the middle of the fight and kill everything, which was pretty relevant.
Oh, there goes the Skype call. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I think it's him.
Okay, just checking because I heard the point, but you heard it then too. So that's cool then. I was already worried. We do have Clockwork building towards the BKB as well by the looks of it, which is not something that you normally see. I mean, you see Blade Mills, we see Agonimses, but BKB is the one that he goes for here. Of course, that's the one thing because as soon as you put up those cogs, it is very easy to just put your Static Storm on top of it and just make sure that nothing is gonna get done inside those cogs. So you need to be able to put your BKB on while you're in there so you can stay in there. You don't get glimpsed back. You can cast your Battery Assault. In the meantime, virtus.pro pushes on the bottom lane. They have got 5 heroes here once again. And we'll try to take down a tier 2 Age Separation ulti. Will fly in. We'll actually do quite a bit here. But not enough to force them back. Tier 2 tower on the top lane will be the trade for it.
Yep, so just a clean tower trade, neither team forcing the issue, it looks like, after it, either just both backing off. Manta is going to be picked up a Templar Assassin now, which gives her even more damage, and those illusions will be able to do some pretty big damage in these fights as well to some of these squishy supports, just like right-click the illusions on them. RoX.KIS are actually smoked up. Are they going for Roshan?
No, they need a fight before taking on Roshan. They're going to try to find it between the tier 1 and tier 2 bottom rather. They find KSI, let drift in, gets a stun up, Courier just flying in the middle of all of that. He does get sent home. KSI doesn't end up dying. With the stun going up on BCZ, he uses Phantasm, goes up on the Vengeful Spirit. The swap is there, but it doesn't matter. Reality Drift straight after that one. That's another kill going the way of RoX.KIS. On the back end, and Ness still went down as well. In the end, here comes the 2 main core heroes for virtus.pro. It is Tema Wild and Illidan. And they are able to just stand there and just force them back by just doing that. And again, I mean, RoX win a fight, don't get anything in return. Maybe they can get some more though, but he can be turned on, and that is not what you want to run into. Sonic Wave doesn't really do that much. BZZ, he is running for his life right now, but Tamar Wild chasing him down here. Oh my god, are we going to do this again?
Well, this time Queen of Pain won't be able to get involved. Ancient Apparition's there, but he's going to port out.
Man,
it's just going to be Wisp coming to his death.
Yeah, they're going to just let him hang there. Oh, Tether still going to be there. Nicely done. TP's himself out. They are not able to do anything against it either, so that's a way out. Never mind. Glimpse. Hello. Bye. Welcome back, Kanaz.
Oh, the sad face.
The level 4 glimpse. It's just, you know, it's so long range. You didn't even see that Disruption was already close by, and then you get that Solo will be able to get himself out of there. Got himself the Orchid, now building towards a BKB of his own. Let's see if we can find some new items. BKB being built up by BCZ as well. BCZ built BKB, yes.
Yeah, BCC's been working on BKB forever though. He's had that Ogre Club for like 6-7 minutes.
That's not really good. We do have the 4-staff completed up on the Bat Rider, and of course also the Mantis up on the TA. As the Gyro will pick up the Aegis versus Pro. Uncontested Roshan.
Dread finished his BKB on the Clockwork actually.
Yes.
That's pretty good. So these heroes just trying to get these BKBs to survive the team fight that's been coming out from VP because they can't afford to really keep losing fights. They're ahead by a kill again, and they were able to find all of those kills in the bottom lane, finding VP split up. But if VP just decide to 5-man again, now they have an Aegis as well up on the Gyrocopter, it's kind of difficult for them to just really say, we're going in and we're going to take this fight.
Yeah, BZZ trying to maybe split push something top. He is by himself though, he's counting on IO to be able to relocate him back in time should something happen. In the meantime, Solo was trying to push a bit on the bottom lane. They were just trying to split push a bit, even though their lineup is not really built for split pushing. Meaning you have to try something right now. virtus.pro is just very far ahead in terms of control of the game. But if you look at the graphs, it's only 4k in favor of virtus.pro in terms of gold, or about 4k-ish. We have got 2.5k experience in favor of virtus.pro. It really is not that much. The most difference is though that the core heroes of virtus.pro are a bit more farmed than the core heroes of RoX right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Tamar Wild is very farmed on the Templar Assassin, which is kind of the biggest deal right now. He's doing a lot of damage. And Gyrocopter also up there. Queen of Pain is staying close to the two of them. But then we see Chaos Knight. He's sitting thousands of gold behind at this point. Hasn't just really been able to keep up. I'm assuming his BKB is probably done and on the way. Yeah, it is. So he's got his BKB finished finally. That's going to be pretty big for him trying to stay alive in these fights and trying to deal as much physical damage as possible. The Phantasm Illusion is still going to go down pretty quickly to the Gyrocopter's Flag Cannon. But he can try and do as much damage as possible, and he just won't die at the beginning of the fight. Two spells, like the Flag Cannon and all of the stuns from Venge. Also the Silence from NS on the Disruptor, not going to be as relevant.
Yeah, I just see the chat, it's full of smiley faces that Joel just did when he died on the Wisp when he got a glimpse back.
Oh.
Ah, funny. Funny chat. Chat's nice sometimes. Sometimes. Oh well. But yeah, BCZ, I mean, he can now man-fight the Gyro a bit more. It's still going to be tough. But his BKB will not last longer than that of the Gyrocopter. Oh, they relocate. They want to fight mid. Looking for a pickup. BKB already turned on all the people. They go for an S burst. They are able to pick him up. AA in the meantime goes down, but buys back. Sonic Wave misses completely. Swap in. Queen of Pain getting stunned up. Rocket Barrage there as well. Is able to blink herself away. It is a 1-for-2 trade so far with supports for a support as well as the carry, because the Chaos Knights still end up going down. We also see Tamar Wild still picking up Vanscore for the second time this fight, as Dread will die there as well. That's a double kill for Tamar Wild. And that is just a Queen of Pain and a Wisp left alive. I'm not quite sure why they were so eager on taking that fight. VP. Take a tier 2 tower in return for that one. And they will live without 20 seconds without Chaos Knight there. And even though that's not very long, they are still able to get some more control with that. And of course shut him down a bit more. He didn't lose that much gold, to be fair. He already spent most of it on his BKB before he died, to be fair, I guess.
Yeah, but they lose. That's an ancient version buyback and then die again.
Yes.
And they lose the tier 2 and now the tier 3 takes some damage. It's another fight going the way of VP, and that was with actually a pretty good initiation coming out from RoX.KIS, all things considered. They're able to just like kill NS off before he does anything in the fight. Disruptor just doesn't really do anything. He drops like Static Storm in a place that doesn't matter because BKB is up on BZZ, but BZZ still just ends up dying. There's too much physical damage between Tamar Wild and Illidan at this point.
Yeah, and especially if you put a Wave of Terror over the top there as well. I mean, once the BKB is up, I mean, you're gonna be so squishy. He only has 9 armor. And this is gonna be reduced with what? 4, so you're gonna have 5 armor left. Actually, that's not maxed out yet, no. So
he went for a Vengeance Aura over Howl.
Yeah. More physical damage, why not?
But they also have the medallion. They have the medallion too, and
they have the medallion and the meld. I mean, you're gonna be sitting on minus armor real fast.
Yeah, they have meld. They have Desolator. Just got picked up by Templar Assassin. That's a lot of minus armor. 7 plus 8 is 15, 21, 26 total on one target if they get all of their spells on the same guy. Yeah, negative 26 armor is a lot of minus armor. It's getting into StarLadder ulting you territory.
Yeah, that's not really ideal. That's a pretty accurate comparison, actually. That's this is an extra hero in your game, basically. We are seeing the last tier 2 tower going to be the target for virtus.pro. They're already on their way. And there's really nothing that RoX can do. They can't afford to take a fight here. Their next fight they take up against virtus.pro, they need to make sure that they have all the favors, all the facts in their favor. So having a tower nearby, having the high ground there as well, and just having them clumped up and just trying to do that. They did take down a tier 1 bottom still in the end, so that's nice, as BZZ and Yol trying to get themselves out of that place. Also mid lane, tier 2 getting pressured highly, Dread taking a bit longer to get away, but still able to get away in time. Cogs, of course, allowing that. Tower gets a knight, but still a tower down, which is not too bad, to be fair, as KSI, he might be looking for something. And it's got, of course, that blink and force. It's got 2k gold. He is not going to be by himself. Tamar Wild is going to be very close by, but they actually stopped chasing right now, as the MKB is ready on the Gyrocopter.
Yep, even more physical damage coming out from this VP lineup. And that's really the problem RoX have right now. They don't have anything to survive against that. They're farmed heroes. They have 2 strength heroes who have low armor, 6 on Clockwork, 9 on KS Knight, and then they have a Queen of Pain who has 7 armor. Like, no one in their team can actually stand up against all this minus armor and physical damage going up against this VP lineup. So their draft actually ends up looking very subtle and strong on the VP side, where they end up stacking all this minus armor. The TA was the last pick, right? Pretty sure that's the
Yeah,
case.
it was the last pick.
So they didn't even necessarily have that in mind for RoX.KIS. They weren't like, oh, they're going to go a minus armor strat on us. But it's working out very well, and as a result, RoX can't really fight. They just die very quickly. One at a time, they're just targeting one hero down from RoX, and it's usually been BZZ first, and that's why we see him struggling to keep up in farm.
Yeah, and the one hero that you think like would try to make a difference there and actually make use of that minus armor would be Dread, to go for maybe a blade meal or something like that, just to make sure that people kill themselves on him. But he went for BKB as well, and I mean, even though we understand why, I mean, you can't get glimpse out of it, you don't have the static storm to deal with, but you're still taking that much physical damage, and that's just really, really indeed tough to take right now. As virtus.pro, I think they're pretty confident. They don't try to force anything out. They'll just take it as they go, and they might actually find Dread here, because his Invis is about to run out. He's going to be found here by the Venge. Oh, nice hookshot away. He's going to try to TP out. BKB not even used, but called out a glimpse, and the range was there. Welcome back. Kill goes the way of Airman. Nice glimpse. And that's why you should turn on your BKB when you TP out.
Yeah, he was pretty much had no escape at that point. And that's multiple times this game NS has done this to people.
Yep.
Where they try to TP out and then suddenly they're back. It's like getting X marks the spot right as you TP out and you're like, oh, wait, I'm here again. I don't want to be here. And just died. But that's a good kill to get on the Clockwork. He is their initiation. He's got that BKB so he can just sort of stand in cogs and try and hold people out for as long as possible. But things continue to go well from just out farming now. They're slowly trying to choke RoX.KIS out of the game, it feels like. Probably just waiting, I guess, for another Roshan attempt.
Yeah, or just get more pickoffs and you know, wait until RoX try to be desperate and take a fight and, you know, lose a fight, then go in. But they're pretty confident the way this is going. It's still going slightly downhill in terms of the gold graph in favor of virtus.pro. That is, of course, same thing goes for the experience graph. But yeah, no pressure. Roche is going to be up again in 1 minute, so might see that and then Aegis and Cheese and go up high ground. In the meantime, we do have a Yules up on IO right now, so that will keep him safe a bit longer. We don't have anything else yet up on BZZ, and this is a tough one because, oh, that's a BKB for...
Oh, BKB
whoa!
used.
But the damage, you saw the damage with the BKB still there. That's so much damage. He now has a Chrysalis as well. Nice blink up the high ground though, lucky for Solo. But yeah, what do you think that Chaos Knight is going to do with this gold? Because right now, do you want to save for buyback if you're BCZ, or do you actually need to buy something?
Buyback is okay, but if his team... presumably if he dies in a fight, he's going to buy back, and by the time he gets back to the fight, his team will be dying. He's going to be in trouble. He needs something, and it's probably something to give him armor. He needs to get something to survive in these fights. Usually you'd say, oh, get like Heart, because Heart makes you tanky. But just having a lot of base HP doesn't help you as much as you might think, considering the amount of minus armor that's coming up on the other team. So we could go for something like AC to try and get like the armor and the armor aura to try and deal with mitigating the enemy team's strategy. Or you can just maybe pick up a plate mail and hope for the best. You go blade mail. Blade mail could be very powerful. TA would basically kill herself on a blade mail. She doesn't have a BKB picked up.
Yeah, I agree with Blade Mail. I would really like to see that on any one of the heroes, to be fair. I mean, there's a lot of bursts coming out of virtus.pro. And it would really help them. We see KSI blinking forward, looking for a target, but everybody of RoX is already backing off again. They were actually also smoked up. Need some extra movement speed there, but oh, are they really? They don't have Solo here, though. Oh, the Solo forces some people back. Maybe they can catch out someone. And this is TPing into a very safe location. Solo will BKB and TP out. Took a lot of damage there. And because he is BKB'd, he won't get glimpsed. That's what you do. Oh my god, Airman, he might be in some trouble. He is stuck between 4 heroes. The cooldown still comes down. Here comes Arsar trying to help out. Age separation ulti still hits. It is BZZ that gets swapped in and actually will end up going down. This is a fight that was by numbers in favor of RoX, but they end up losing 4 heroes, and the only one that lives is the one that wasn't there. It is, of course, the Queen of Pain, who went middle after TPing out. But that, oh, Galim's back. Yes, she has an Invis rune though, but they won't be able to catch her. Sentry Ward goes down. Never mind, they had that. Blinks herself away in the hands of the Gyro and Tamar. Wow, that's a team wipe. And I mean, seriously, there was 3 or 2 versus 4 top.
Yeah, it was like 2 and then 3 at the end.
Started
Bat
at
Rider
2.
got in there at the end. Yeah.
It started with
They
Airman. Arsar
They
came
couldn't
in.
even kill Airman for like 3 men initiating on him, 4 men initiating on him, and that's not the situation you want to be in, especially since Team Wild wasn't there. It wasn't like it was Gyrocopter and Templar Assassin and you got team wiped, because that's almost reasonable at this point in the game. But it wasn't Templar Assassin, and now there's a Satanic picked up on Illidan, and he also has the Aegis. You have to kill him 3 times, effectively.
Yep. Cold Feet will try to help him maybe kill off that one time already. He does take a couple tower hits, but will end up living on 26 HP. They will get a kill though. Tamer Wild caught out there with the stun from BZZ coming in. They might be looking for more. The buyback comes in. They want to go for a nest. The stun is still there. Last two as well. Sonic Blade still hits up on the nest, but doesn't kill him off. The scream is there. BZZ turns on his BKB way too late. He is already down. By his back though, he still had that gold. There goes the swap, putting Yol back into the line of fire. Goes for a stun. Arsart is just trying to do everything here by himself. Gets himself another kill. It is in the end the Gyro that gets the kill. Dread. He can't TP out the swap. This is actually on cooldown. The cogs will allow him though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Can they do it? Can he do it? No, he can't. And the Aegis in the end did get burned. So that is something, but they still, I mean, virtus.pro, they're still here. They're not running. They're not backing off. They take the tier 3.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yep, so tier 3 is down. They took the Aegis on Illidan finally, but he probably doesn't really care at this point. He's just chasing BZZ.
Yeah, I think actually Io just died for the one shot, and BZZ phantasms, but doesn't matter. That damage coming up from Tamar Wild is just so much.
The temple decreed your death.
And I mean, I just want to point out again that this Vengeful Spirit, again, later on in the game, late game, she is turning into a semi-carry. Hook shot in, Dread. I'm not sure what he thinks he can do here because he just got 2-shotted.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, they get Vanscore as the last one alive on the side of RoX. I think that's it. Indeed, GG is called. virtus.pro end up taking this game. RoX.KIS, they fought valiantly, but in the end, the head start that virtus.pro actually didn't have. It's just they didn't lose mid game. That's all they needed to do, and they did that, and they won. 41 minutes game. It was of course the last game of the evening. StarLadder Season 6 will continue tomorrow at 3 PM CST time, so that's 1500, so that's 2 hours earlier than what time it started today.
Ancient is under attack.
Any last words?
About the game.
About
yeah.
the game.
So we're talking Venge. I think the star of this game, just the sort of key hero.
Yeah.
Disruptor was important too. He was able to get a lot of kills. But we saw Disruptor earlier, but today I guess, and even since the most recent patch, Venge, a support hero that we're seeing transition really into that semi-carry role in the late game, just because all of his abilities scale very well into late game. She has that Vengeance aura for the damage, the Howl for the minus armor, and that's the kind of stuff that's very effective later in the game. So we'll see if teams start picking her up more and more. She's already starting to become kind of commonplace as a support. And yeah, the result of buffs. All you need is a minor buff to her strength to make her a little bit more survivable, and suddenly top pick.
Yeah, virtus.pro, they sit on 12-1, so they continue being on top of the ladder, and of course they are already secured a spot to Kiev. And RoX taking another loss here. And they're getting the 6th loss, I believe, in StarLadder. And I mean, I fully agree that Venge, we're gonna see her a lot more. And I'm kind of hoping that we're also gonna see Carry Venge at some point anymore again as well, because she's just that strong. Any shoutouts and plugins? Of course, we were here with 3 first. I'm gonna give a shout out to shout out to Smiley Face from K-poptosis. That was the one that I was gonna be saying that he could shout out, because of course K-poptosis is our stat man for today. He's been able to bring you all the information about the game, about the players, about stats, about everything that you ever wanted to know, including smiley faces. And that was apparently his only smiley face shout out, but you can also follow him on Twitter, on twitter.com/K-poptosis without the hyphen. So go do that, as he apparently needs some more followers. Of course, with me was Kanaz. Was good to have you here again. Any shout outs and plugins for yourself?
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Z and That's Sly Rogue, and catch me if you want to follow my stuff. You can catch me at Twitter at KanazDota or on Twitch.tv at /KanazTA. And that's it for me.
Yeah, and of course he casts a lot of StarLadder matches as well. If he's not casting with me, then he might be casting by himself on his Twitch channel. So don't forget to follow him as well when StarLadder is going on, because StarLadder is only running up until next Friday. Next Friday, that is the last day for the group stages. Then we'll have the 4 team known that will be in the LAN finals in Kiev, Cyber Arena. And yeah, then we'll get decided. Like I said, already one team got themselves the spot reserved. That is, of course, VP. And so far it looks like Mouse and Alliance will be joining them, but we'll find out that later on this week, as there's still some more important games to be played. For example, Alliance versus Mouse. I believe that one's Monday, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see then. Anyways, thank you for watching. I will tell you where you can find more competitive Dota after the outro, etc. And I will probably be ending up playing either pubs or screaming at my ISP, depending on what I feel like. And I'm actually really gonna drink that with beer, so I'll be right back. So stick around if you want to, and otherwise have a good night. Oh yeah, oh wait, you can follow me on twitter.com/SheeverGaming, SheeverGaming.com. Woo, that was it. I crashed my... Go on.